Have you ever heard of the cowboy so strong he could lasso a tornado? A man so wild he became a living legend of the American West? This is the unbelievable story of Pecos Bill, the ultimate cowboy hero who turned the wild frontier into his personal playground. Pecos Bill is one of the most famous figures in all of American folklore. His stories are packed with adventure, humor, and feats so impossible they have to be heard to be believed. They were first told around crackling campfires by cowboys, then shared in magazines, and passed down through generations, each telling making the legend bigger and bolder. But who exactly was Pecos Bill, and how did his larger-than-life story even begin? According to the legend, Pecos Bill was born somewhere along the Pecos River in Texas way back in the 1800s. His family was traveling west in a covered wagon when, in a bumpy turn of events, Baby Bill accidentally fell out without anyone noticing. Left all alone in the vast, wild landscape, he was discovered by a pack of coyotes. But instead of harming him, they took him in and raised him as one of their very own. Bill grew up running with the coyote pack, learning the secrets of survival in the wilderness. He could howl louder than any coyote in the pack, leap over canyons, and race across the sun-baked plains faster than the wind. For years, he lived as a wild creature, completely in tune with the rhythms of nature, thinking he was just another member of his coyote family. One fateful day, a group of cowboys rode through the area and spotted something truly bizarre: a wild, human-looking boy running with a pack of coyotes. Their curiosity got the better of them. They managed to capture him and bring him back to civilization. At first, Bill was completely lost among people. He'd howl instead of speaking, run on all fours, and frankly, he scared the living daylights out of everyone with his wild, unpredictable behavior. But slowly, with patience and a bit of cowboy grit, he learned how to talk, walk on 2 feet, ride horses, and work like a real cowboy. And from that day forward, Pecos Bill wasn't just any cowboy. He became the greatest cowboy who ever lived. Bill was no ordinary cowpoke. He was absolutely extraordinary. He could ride a horse better than anyone in Texas and could lasso literally anything that moved. Whenever the cowboys faced a problem, whether it was a drought or a stampede, Bill came up with the boldest, craziest, and most brilliant solutions. If they needed a river, no problem. He'd just dig the Rio Grande with his bare hands. If there was a wild horse that nobody could tame, Bill would leap on its back and turn it into his best friend. With every tall tale told, his adventures grew bigger, wilder, and more unbelievable. One of his most legendary adventures was taming Widowmaker, the wildest and meanest horse in the entire West. This fierce stallion had thrown every cowboy who dared to try and ride him. But Bill, never one to back down from a challenge, accepted. For 3 grueling days and nights, the two of them battled across deserts, over mountains, and through deep canyons. It was a clash of titans. In the end, Bill's sheer will and strength won out. He tamed Widowmaker, and the horse became his loyal and inseparable companion. Together, they became an unstoppable team, ready for any adventure the frontier threw at them. But Bill's greatest feat, the one that truly cemented his legend, was riding a tornado. One day, a massive storm, a real cyclone, appeared on the horizon. The sky turned a terrifying shade of green, the wind roared like a monster, and all the sensible folks ran for shelter. But not Pecos Bill. He saw a challenge. He calmly rode out to meet the storm, whipped out his trusty lasso, made from a live rattlesnake, of course, and expertly roped the tornado. Then, he climbed on top of the swirling vortex, as if it were just another bucking bronco at a rodeo. The tornado twisted and spun, trying to throw him off, but Bill held on tight, whooping and hollering as he rode it all across Texas until the storm finally gave up and fizzled out. From then on, people said there was absolutely nothing in nature that Pecos Bill couldn't conquer. Of course, even the toughest heroes can fall in love. Bill met his match in a brave and beautiful cowgirl named Slewfoot Sue. They planned a grand wedding, a celebration for the ages. During the party, Sue, being just as adventurous as Bill, insisted on riding his famous horse Widowmaker, but the horse was fiercely loyal and didn't like anyone else on his back. He bucked Sue so high into the air that she began to bounce up and down on her steel bustle hoop skirt like a pogo stick. The legend says she bounced so high she hit the moon and just never came back down. Poor Bill spent the rest of his days sadly searching the sky for her. It's a humorous but surprisingly bittersweet part of his story. Over time, the tales of Pecos Bill spread like wildfire. Cowboys huddled around their campfires at night would tell his stories, laughing at the wild exaggerations and admiring his fearless can-do spirit. He came to represent the very heart of the American frontier, brave, wild, fiercely independent, and larger than life. Now let's be real. Pecos Bill wasn't a real person. He's a folk hero, a tall-tale character created to entertain, to inspire, and to make sense of a world that was often dangerous and unpredictable. His stories perfectly reflect how people saw the Wild West, a place of immense danger, but also of incredible adventure and endless possibilities, where a single person could make a huge difference. Pecos Bill may not have actually existed, but his legend is very much alive. It lives on in books, cartoons, songs, and the stories we still tell today. He's forever remembered as the ultimate cowboy who could ride anything, tame the untamable, and make the impossible look easy. His incredible adventures remind us of the enduring power of storytelling, how tales can grow, travel across generations, and live forever in our hearts and imaginations. So the next time you hear the wind howling just like a coyote, or you see a massive storm swirling in the distance, maybe, just maybe, it's Pecos Bill out there, riding again. So let me ask you, if you had the chance, do you think you'd be brave enough to ride a tornado? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this tall tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more legendary stories. See you next time.